So today's episode is looking a little different, if you can't tell already, from what initially was the game plan. As you can see, I don't have a special guest. Tiffany is not here. And I'm not saying that that episode isn't going to happen. I wish that I could give you like some gossip or some tea and be like, oh my God, Tiffany and I got into the biggest fight we've ever had and we're never talking again. That's not the case. And I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who is looking for some drama. But basically, we had recorded an episode and it was good. It was great. We had a lot of good banter. It was really funny. And I have all of that footage. However, the audio is not it. We tried so hard. Like, as you can see, I have a microphone. It's connected to my laptop. I know how to do that. But what became complicated was having two audios in the same system. I know that a lot of you guys watching could probably be like, oh yeah, that's easy to figure out. Or maybe even some of you have experience in this and you can be like, oh, this is super easy to figure out the solution, yada, yada, yada. I just couldn't do it. I watched so many YouTube videos. I saw so many different people. I looked up this mic. I looked up many others. I've spent so much money on audio. It is insane. Long story short, when it got time to filming the podcast, we figured out a way that I could record audio on the way that I record my audio, like using my laptop and using this microphone. And then the solution was to have Tiffany use the external audio that I have connected to my camera. The camera would record audio on her microphone and it would go directly to the video footage. My audio would remain as an external audio through this program, and then I would just overlay it onto the episode. Great in theory, not good in execution, and that's fine. We knew that that was going to be kind of like hit or miss. It was a miss. Majorly, it was a major miss. Basically, it was just really echoey because my audio was still getting picked up slightly on her mic, and then her audio was getting picked up on mine. So when I overlaid it, there's just this like constant loop of audio it's just not it. So I need to figure that out. I need to take the time to like not throw temper tantrums and really just like figure out the solution there. We had scheduled to refilm today, but I, for some reason, just cannot get my schedule under control. I feel like work, life, all of it, I'm just being pulled in so many different directions. And that's not something that I'm like necessarily complaining about, because I do love having things to do. I do love feeling like my days are filled. Not this filled. Not the filled that I'm experiencing where it's like constant, and now things are overlapping each other and I'm just not in control of my schedule anymore. So today I reached out to Tiffany, or yesterday we had planned to film today, and it was just like, okay, great, we'll meet up, we'll do that. Just not working anymore. I forgot that I have an event that I'm going to. The timing isn't happening, and I feel really bad. Like, I really do want to film with Tiffany. She's kind of the gatekeeper to the podcast, where if I don't film with her, because I don't know, for me, it's just like an honors system. Like, Tiffany has been so supportive of me and she's gotten me to this point, feeling confident to put content onto the internet. I feel like as a respect, sort of like thank you to her for just being like my biggest support system, is that I wanted her to be the first person to get a feature on an episode of anything that I do, whether it be Shut Up I'm Talking or Shut Up I'm Cooking or Shut Up I'm Vlogging. I wanted her to be a part of this. I wanted her to be the first person to have access to this platform with me, because she got me here. And not saying that like I'm not putting in the work, I'm putting in the fucking work here, but she's been my emotional support. So Tiffany, shout out. Honestly, I really do want to figure out a way that we can get you here so we can do something together, because it's just, it's just out of respect. It's out of fairness. I'll get a hold of my schedule at some point, but like right now, it's just not the vibe. I honestly got up this morning and I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit the fuck down. I'm going to record and I'm going to fucking put something on the platform, because I think that Wednesdays has been kind of consistently the days that I post something. And I want to continue that trend of just like staying consistent, not just for myself, but just, well, actually, no, just for myself. Like, I just want to have consistency in what I do, so I feel like I'm taking this seriously and I'm doing things that benefit myself mentally. So Tiffany will be on here. I'm actually waiting for her to respond, because I just like sent her the message being like, hey, can't do it. Sorry about that. Topics that we talked about, not reveal. I want to like continue to keep that like our thing. It was really funny. I'm really excited to refilm it and like give you guys insight into our psychotic stupid little brains. I literally look like a grandma, like these fucking flowers and like this setup, but like this was the best place for lighting, so it is what it is. I know that we shouted this out on her platform and my platforms, and we are like, oh, this is happening, yada yada yada, but like it's not happening. Sorry. I really fucking tried. I really did. Anyway, I just wanted to give you that update because it is shitty, and I'm working on it. Audio's fucking hard, you guys. Like, literally, audio is so difficult. It just gives me like a heightened respect for people who like do this for a living. I think once you get to a certain point, like you have editors, you have people who are in charge of creating content with you and for you, so it becomes really easy for people to just kind of streamline their production. I'm doing everything by myself because I am not loaded. I'm not getting brand deals over here or fucking, collaborations. So for now it's me. I'm not a techie. We have known this since the beginning that I know nothing about technology, so this is like a learning process for me, and you guys are just on this roller coaster, and it's just fucking insane. I get so distracted so easily. I literally can't hold attention at all, and I think that that's what's playing into my inability to organize my schedule, is that I'm just like so like, oh but that's fun, I'm a yes man. I love saying yes to anything. I'm a people pleaser. Like, I've learned that in past friendships where I will go above and beyond my ability to give people what they need or be there for them or do things with them at all times. I don't like saying no, and that's something that I tried to learn how to do. And you know what? That's damaging. It ruins friendships. It really does, because it creates an expectation. The people that I'm friends with, the groups that I'm with and hang around, they have this expectation of me, and they have like this, they put me on a level of like, oh, Alex is always going to be the one to say yes. He'll always be the one to be there. He'll be the one to cook. He'll be the one to organize. He'll be the one to do all of this. It puts pressure. And then what happens is when I fail, or when I forget, or when I speak up and I say, hey, look, I'm a human, I need my boundaries, then I'm the villain. I've become the villain in a lot of settings, and it honestly just cracks me up, because it's like, I don't feel like I'm a bad person, but because I'm no longer providing a service, or because I'm no longer making somebody else's life comfortable or easy by like providing them with my time and talents, then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. It's my own fault to an extent of me being like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that's not an issue, and not speaking up for myself and setting those boundaries. I think it's so important for you to develop boundaries and lay up walls.
That's a fucking boundary. A wall and a boundary are the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Create a space for you, because then it eliminates disappointment. People can understand and respect that. I've gone through a lot of friendships where people have just like been like, oh, well, Alex isn't providing anything for me anymore, so bye, which is fine, because those weren't real friendships. You know what I mean? Those were a benefit for either myself or the other person. And when that benefit disappeared, then the friendship also disappeared. But yeah, I think it's super important to recognize that you don't have to provide anything for anyone for any reason. You should only be responsible for maintaining healthy friendships that feed your soul and create a very incredible space. And that's why I love my friends, especially I've talked about Tiffany. I'll continue to talk about her. I feel like her and I understand each other's boundaries. I get frustrated with her. She gets frustrated with me all the time. There are things that she does that I'm like, really? And there's things that I do that she's like,
really?
So it's part of the friendship, but our friendship doesn't break because she's not able to come and film with me. We're human, and we're living two different experiences, and that we can be there for each other when we can. One of my friends who's an incredible astrologist, and I go to her with a lot of questions. Now, she's informed me that I'm entering into my Saturn return. A Saturn return, to my limited knowledge, is when Saturn returns into its placement when you were born, and it typically can bring on transformative experiences in your life. It feels like kind of like your first introduction to midlife crises. I definitely feel like I'm in that transformative experience. Like, it starts around 28, I believe, or 26, I can't remember, and it goes into like 30, 31. I don't know the time frame. Fuck off. It's there. And during this time period, you kind of experience these huge impactful moments in your life. For me, it was friendships and relationships, and I saw a lot of those friendships crumble, and I saw a lot of them disappear. I saw a lot of old friendships kind of rekindle, and it really challenged my mental headspace of being like, going from what I thought was the normal routines day to day, doing activities, being around this, specific groups of people, to then no longer having the access to those groups of people and those activities and those things, really just shook my world. It really just like took me out and was like, oh shit, how much of myself was I giving to these people that I am now at a loss for where I need to be in the direction of my life? That really just honestly like fucked me up. During those moments, I started having old friendships kind of coming up and into my life sphere. It kind of challenged me to analyze what we had and where we can go and what needs to change in order for us to continue, so it was one of those like crazy moments of like, oh shit, like where am I and who am I? Like I don't think as a human we ever really figure out who we are, and anybody who claims to know themselves through and through is delusional. But I'm constantly figuring it out. I'm constantly figuring out what I want and who I am and where I'm going. And I feel like I'm getting close there, but like I'm not, I'm like in this like clouded perception of my life, and I'm figuring out where it's going to go and the trajectory of it. And it's scary, and I feel confident that I'm entering sort of like a, like a smooth transition where things will kind of get a little bit more easy for me, but who fucking knows? Honestly, I could just get rocked again. But, it's hard. Everyone's having these moments in life. Everyone's having these just explosions of change. And being somebody who is so hyper aware of it, like, I feel like I can be sometimes affected by how people feel. And I'm learning to kind of like filter that out and set boundaries. See what I did there? I looped again into the topic. I'm learning to create a space where I can grow and those around me can grow with me. And I think that that's super healthy to maintaining good relationships. Honestly, this episode just really felt like a fucking TED Talk. Thank you so much for joining me in my TED Talk as we figure out and navigate not only technology, but ourselves. So I'm not one to like give like advice on anything. So honestly, these experiences that I speak of are just pertaining to me and my experiences in life. I just really wanted to get on here and just like let you know that like I'm continuing to create stuff and I'm continuing to manifest things for myself in whatever shape and form they come. And I think that right now I'm having a lot of fun doing silly little stupid things like this, and I'm going to continue to do so, and I will have a fucking guest on here as soon as I can figure out audio. Like, if anybody knows anything about audio and you want to reach out to me, I encourage you, because I am so at a loss and it is so frustrating to me. We're going to get somewhere. I don't know where that is, but we're going to get somewhere. So yeah, thank you for taking the time to listen to my silly little rant. And I hope you have a gorgeous day, a fabulous day, an amazing day. I know that my day is busy, and yeah. Tune in next week where we will do things and record them. Okay, well, I have to honestly start getting ready for the day because, like I said, so